Hey there. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my daily routine with an infant. I had a baby at the end of August, so August 31st, and it's now the end of November, so baby's just about 3 months. The newborn phase only lasts for about 8 weeks, and the infant stage is considered the first year of life. So we are still in that first year of life, the infant stage, and while no 2 days are exactly alike, there are certain things that I aim to do every day to keep us in somewhat of a schedule. So I'm going back to work next week. So the past 12 weeks have been pretty much without any external structure applied, save for like individual one-off events if we're traveling, if we're going somewhere, if we're going out. Those have been the only external events that have been applied to us thus far. However, going back to work will certainly be an external event, and I'm looking forward to it very much to have sort of some mental stimulation and some type of a stronger routine to sort of cleave onto. So to kind of give disclaimer, this is my first baby, and I have learned most of what I know I've learned from Instagram or Facebook. I'm in a couple Facebook moms groups, and Instagram keeps serving me up all these infant newborn kind of tips, and I, of course, double check anything I hear and kind of make sure that I'm hearing it from reliable sources as well as from people on Instagram or Facebook. But a lot of the tips have been very helpful. So just to start off, we start at the top of the day, so I'll start around 6:30. I certainly do something that is considered maybe a risky, not a practice endorsed not by the American Academy of Pediatricians, and that's co-sleeping. So my baby is exclusively breastfed, and that was something that I wasn't sure I would be able to do just because I've heard people having trouble with it. I didn't want to expect to be able to do that, so I wanted to kind of keep my options open. But so far we're going on the end of month 3, and I have been able to maintain that supply for my baby. Both my sister and I were exclusively breastfed, so from a family perspective, that's something that we're able to do. That's something that I have a history of being able to do. So again, we're coming up on month 3, and things could change tomorrow, but for right now, she's exclusively breastfed. So we wake up. So co-sleeping, I mean, that was the only way that saved my sanity. That saved my sanity. And it's also, it saves us money because we're not buying formula. And the third reason is certainly, there are some studies that point to a slightly higher cognitive aptitude through breastfeeding. So I just wanted to do everything I can to give the baby a head start, leg up. Although, again, formula feeding, if that's the way you go, that's the way you go, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. A fed baby is the best baby. Doesn't matter if breast or formula, whatever. Anyway, so that's what we do. And I'll tell you kind of how we go out, because I like to start the night. I will feed at the end of the night, in the evening, and we'll start off in the crib, or in the crib, the bassinet. So we do swaddle baby, which we're starting to transition away from because developmentally we've gotten to the point where baby is starting to roll over, and we know you shouldn't swaddle once they're able. You are not to swaddle after the baby is able to roll over because it is not safe. So we're transitioning away from that, but for right now, the startle reflex is very strong, and that will wake the baby up. So swaddling has been a lifesaver. So we start out in the crib, and baby usually goes down at 9 p.m. and we'll get a good 3-hour stretch. So from 9 to 12. Next feeding is usually at 12 a.m. So we'll feed at 12 a.m. and at that point I will take the swaddle off, and the baby will sleep with us in the bed for the next, usually until morning, because the baby feeds every 2 to 3 hours. So we're waking up at 3 and then again at 5 a.m. usually. I mean, again, no 2 days are the same. So 3 and then 5 a.m. and then sometimes at 6:30, a little bit of playfulness, 7:30, feed again. And then usually by 8:30 or 9, the baby's awake. I find that I get most of my best sleep between 7 and 9 in the morning, which is going to be a problem if work starts at 9. So we'll certainly have to adjust that. And in another 3 months, I would love to do a typical day in the life after that. So after, usually around 9 a.m. is when we start the day together. So my husband is at work, is working, and the baby and I will start together. We will get up and change and do all that. And to start the day, I wash hands and face and hands, and change out of pajamas into, day clothes. And that's a way to signal that the day is starting for the baby and for myself. The nurse in the infant mother-baby ward said that it's very good to have that type of a routine to signal the start of the day, and it's fantastic. So we also try to feed first thing at 9. For the most part, again, so the 2 feeding times are 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. But for the most part, I feed on demand, and that's how we feed. So, which will be interesting going back to work. So at 9 a.m., we feed, and then after that, from sort of 9:30 till 11, or 9:30 to 10 is playtime. And for playtime, that could be anything from listening to classical music. I try to get some Mozart in there for the brain development as well. We listen to an artist called Laurie Berkner, who has a lot of great kids songs. We do tummy time. We do just kind of gentle play, or we go outside for a walk. That's something else that I try to do every day, is get outside, either in the stroller or in the baby carrier. Baby wearing has been another thing that has saved my sanity, because it's the only way I can get anything done. The baby really likes being worn and will often just fall asleep, which is fantastic. The 2 baby wearing carriers I use, and I'm not really in love with either one of them, are the Boba Wrap and the Infantino, just 4-in-1 convertible carrier. And I chose both of them for the cost. They're both lower cost items, and I love baby wearing, but I am not in love with either one of them. I will leave links down below to both of them so you can check them out. They're a fine budget option just to start, because I've heard some babies don't love being worn. So it's good to kind of figure out if your baby wants to be worn or will tolerate it, so you don't invest a whole lot in something that they're not cool with. But I am on the hunt for better quality wraps or baby stuff, baby wearing gear. So from 9 to 10:30, so 9 to 10:30, we're feeding and doing gentle kind of play. Then usually sometime around 10:30 or 11, maybe we'll take a nap. And that is when I spring into action and try to get done anything I need to do for the day. So on the business front, that includes taking care of any actions I need to keep my business going. It can be writing copy, filming a video, editing a video, anything along those lines. Housework, folding laundry, doing laundry, tidying up, which are all things that I can do with the baby. So I really try to do things that I can't do with the baby when the baby is napping. So just film a video. And I know a lot of people say, give the advice to sleep when the baby sleeps. And I that hasn't been helpful for me because when the baby sleeps, I do things I can't do when the baby's awake, which are things like this. So baby usually naps until somewhere around 12, at which point when baby wakes up, we feed again. And I have to mention that a book that has been very helpful for me, a book that I tried to use was the Moms on Call method that I tried to adhere to. And the things that I found helpful in that book were the things of having pillar post, baby's actually awake now, posts of having no matter what time, so 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. for feeding, 9 a.m. in the morning, and then 5 p.m. for the evening feed. All the other information is kind of come and go as far as sleep goes, because we don't have the space to do have a separate bedroom, so that's kind of not ideal. But a lot of the tips in that book are helpful, especially the typical day. So again, this is just typical day. 12 p.m. we have lunch, and then after that we do some more play, which again can be tummy time or just kind of gentle play. I put the baby on a yoga mat, and we have a toy box which is yay big. It's like 14 inches by 12 inches by 8 inches high, and that is it. It's a cardboard box that a lovely a family member, my cousin, sent us a gift basket in, and I love the box and it makes me happy to look at it. So that's the baby's toy basket, and that is the only toys that we have for space and for money saving reasons. So we don't have a ton of toys. We have one sort of sensory like a fold thing. It's not a very good description. It's a fabric high contrast card that folds into a triangle, and then we have some other high contrast cards. So I'll take those out and lay those out in front of the baby, put the baby on a boppy face down, so on tummy for tummy time, but not like face planted into the ground. So really trying to remain as lean as possible, again, for space and for saving money as far as toys, because baby's not grasping anything, so why overload with toys? So that's what we'll do from about 12 to 2. And then we'll feed again, maybe take a cat nap again, trying to go to shorter naps as we progress into the evening. That doesn't always go according to plan, but that's what we try to do. Then I will kind of around this time start thinking about dinner. If I've made a meal plan at the beginning of the week, we start that. Dinner gets started around 4 p.m. And at 5:30, as possible, I will try to feed at 5:30 no matter what, as possible. And then we eat dinner. I make dinner, we eat dinner. And then you can hear it in the background. I'll tell you what time, it's 5:08, so it's almost dinner time. So after 5:30 to 7:30 is sort of a gentle playtime. And again, at naps, I'm doing anything I can to keep the business going. You can hear it in the background. You can hear the baby in the background. So after 5:30 to 7:30 is playtimes, and 7:30, again, I try to have feeding, if possible. Excuse me, back up, we do bath time. Bath time is another cornerstone of our routines, and I have been consistent with bath time pretty much since I started reading the Moms on Call book, which was in the first week of our baby's life. So bath time, again, signals that it's time to wind down. The warm water and the sort of routine of bath, the kind of gentle play, is how we signal the beginning of nighttime, of bedtime, which has worked out really well because the baby loves water, which is something that I had wanted. So the 3 things that were very important to me for the baby were that they love water, they love music and understand music, and can code, which is my husband's area of expertise. So as soon as the baby's old enough, that's what I would like him to do. I'll take care of the music and the water, and if he can do the coding, that'd be great. Because I feel like that's like speaking the language of, today. So that's what we do. So we start bath time at 7:30 or 8, and then we'll feed again for the night. So that's our nighttime routine, is bath time. Then I'll change, and then I will feed, and then again put the baby in bassinet, swaddled. So that's sort of a typical day in the life. And again, this will change fully once I start working, because I'll be working from 9 to 5 and won't be able to feed on demand. So we'll be encouraged, nay, we will have to stick to a more structured feeding schedule. So the plan for the baby, and during the first couple weeks or first couple months that I'm back to work, is for grandma to help out, as she has very, very, very kindly agreed to do. My mom's a therapist, so she's able to structure her day as she sees fit, opening up time for her clients. So we've worked out that if I have a meeting, then she can kind of take the baby and can make sure the baby's content while I'm leading, if I need to lead a meeting, when I need to lead meetings. So other than that, I will be available because I work from home. I will be available to sort of comfort or, to be accessible. But again, mother has graciously offered to help out with childcare, which I'm so, so thankful for. So that's kind of a typical day in the life with our 3-month-old infant. And this has been working pretty well. For the most part, we've kind of gotten into that routine. Still nowhere near sleeping through the night. That's another thing. Another note is we do have a snoo bassinet, and that did not work out well for us. And the reason why is because the baby only wakes up when the baby needs something, either gas or hunger. The baby doesn't typically fuss a lot, and the snoo is really good for calming fussy babies, but that's not really something that our baby does. And because breast milk digests longer, hence the need, or digests quicker, the need for the middle of the night feeding. So I'm still waking up 2 times a night, 1 to 2 times a night at least. So we are not sleeping through the night. one day, and I'm aware that we could probably get a longer stretch. That would require allowing the baby to cry it out, and not receive food on demand, which in our very compact co-op, I'm not really keen to do. So that's just kind of a note on what is happening for us as far as sleep goes, because I would say that's probably the one area that if I could wish one thing to be better, it would be the area of sleep, getting more sleep. It is where it is right now. Things I may decide to change tomorrow, and it may be different once I'm in a house. So we'll see how that goes. So again, that's where it is for our day in the life of an infant. Things will change in 3 months. They will change in 3 months. They will change again in another 3 months. So it's fast and furious out here. Things are evolving as they go, and it's a wonderful experience, albeit one that requires a lot of learning and a lot of energy. So we're all kind of a little bit sleep deprived, but it's totally worth it. So that's what I got for you today, and thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you'll keep watching. Bye.